Hello, and thank you for watching this video on motivational interviewing. My name is Cassie, and I will be the narrator through this video. Motivational interviewing is a counseling style which is client-centered to help elicit behavior change and resolve ambivalence. Motivational interviewing has many different techniques that help engage the client. However, the developers of these techniques have also identified traps that counselors may fall into that cause disengagement of the client. One such trap is the premature focus trap. The premature focus trap may hinder the motivational interviewing process by causing this disengagement. This trap occurs when the counselor and the client identify different problems as the most important, which cause the counselor to focus on one topic that might not be of importance to the client. Another aspect of this trap is when the counselor focuses on the first problem or issue that the client identifies and tries to fix it before the counselor-client collaboration truly begins. Avoiding this trap is important to the motivational interviewing technique because premature focus will not allow the client to resolve ambivalence. To avoid this trap, a counselor must listen to the client's stories to get an understanding of their life situation before coming back to the topic at hand that is of utmost importance to both the client and the counselor. In our video, we will depict two scenarios with a client who is seeing a nutrition counselor. Both scenarios will revolve around the same topic and client. In the first scenario, the counselor will fall into the premature focus trap and focus on an early topic that does not help the client and causes this disengagement. The second scenario, the counselor will avoid the premature focus trap and focus on an interest of the client that also has direct impact on the health problem. Jania will act as the counselor, while Michelle will act as the client. When watching this first video, look out for the counselor falling into the trap, as well as some other askew motivational interviewing practices.
Okay. So good morning. My name is Jania.
I'm Michelle.
Okay, so I'll be your nutritional therapist today. And the doctor had recently told you that you have prediabetes. And I wanted to get your reaction to this news so that I can better help you.
I wasn't really expecting this. It really caught me off guard, and I know what I eat isn't always the healthiest, but I didn't think things were this bad. I mean, my life is pretty hectic, so I guess I haven't really been taking care of myself. So
Yeah, so you were pretty shocked, and I'm sensing you might be quite scared too.
Yeah, I'm a little scared, but more worried than anything. I mean, my career is really important to me, and I don't really want my prediabetes to slow me down, and I don't really want to have to take medication, because who does? And I'm absolutely terrified of needles, so I don't want to be pricking myself all the time, and then watching what I eat and counting carbohydrates and everything. It just sounds like a whole lot of hassle that I don't have time for.
You feel like having diabetes will cause some unfortunate lifestyle changes. What I'm hearing you say is you don't want your bad health to affect the way to affect your career.
Basically, I guess I focus so much on work that I've kind of forgotten to take care of myself, and I guess I'm really shooting myself in the foot because that's what's caused my prediabetes.
So you feel like you're just not giving the attention your body really deserves.
Yeah, and I honestly haven't been this way. Like when I took this job, I guess that's when my health started spiraling downwards, and I don't know. I guess that's when I kind of noticed things were kind of off as far as my health goes. So,
can you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
Well, I'm an ESL teacher, so I teach English to foreign students and adults. I work in a community center close by, but I also spend a lot of my days traveling. It's just part of the job. So I eat out often, and I'm always on the go, and it makes following a healthy diet and lifestyle pretty difficult. And I mean, I know exercise and diet are important, and I guess I honestly could work out at the gyms, at the hotels, but they aren't always available.
Okay, so you recognize the importance of exercise.
Yeah, I do. But when I get that free time, I just want to veg out. You don't really want to have to come back and go to the gym, and so that's part of it too.
So, yeah, I think that you should make exercise a part of your life. Exercise is huge in managing your diabetes. If you're overweight, it can help you lose weight. Exercise can also help with your blood sugar, and it can also reduce your stress levels.
Um, well, I guess, I mean, it could be a way for me to avoid getting diabetes and I guess taking medication.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I think exercise is the right step for you um, to stop the progression of your diabetes. So, how many days a week do you think you can exercise?
I mean, right now, I just want to say one because, when I travel, I'm not really sure if there's ever going to be anything available. And um, I don't know. I don't even like exercise to begin with. So it would be a big step, a big change for me.
Mm. Can you make it a goal to exercise 3 to 4 times a week? I need you to do it more than just one day.
I mean, that might just be a little too much for me, honestly. I mean, maybe when I'm stuck at a hotel and they have a gym, I'm just unsure as whether I can commit to doing that much because, I mean, I don't want to buy a gym membership here because I'm not home enough to use it, and I feel like it would just be a waste of money, and I don't know.
I really think that making exercise an important part of your life is crucial for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's just difficult for me. Like I said, I don't enjoy it to begin with, so it would be a really big step.
I'll tell you what you should do. I'll give you the name of my trainer. Just come in, mention my name, and he'll take care of you. His name is George. He's this hot Italian guy. He really makes working out a walk in the park. So you'll go see him?
I mean, maybe that might be something I could do. I still don't know.
This will be great for you. Being physically active is an essential part in the treatment of diabetes. It'll lower your blood sugar, your body fat will decrease, and you'll really feel so much better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll see.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in today. I feel very confident about this exercise thing that will be successful. Next time you come in, we'll look at the progress you made and kind of increase the number of times that you're exercising a day.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
In this scenario, the counselor jumped on the first problem area that the client identified and began making an action plan to increase exercise. Did you notice how the client became disengaged in the topic, even though she was first to suggest exercise as a lifestyle change? When the counselor falls into this trap, client resistance increases and discord occurs, as we saw in this first video. It seemed obvious that this was not of interest and is not a priority to the client, but the counselor kept pushing the topic to the client, even though the client didn't see this as a realistic change. Now, in this second scenario, look to see how the counselor uses proper motivational interviewing techniques and avoids the premature focus trap by focusing on the client's concerns. Listen to how the counselor takes time to build rapport and get a broader understanding of the client's interests and concerns, and then goes back to identify the problem that the client sees as most pressing. While watching the second scenario, try and identify some of the good techniques the counselor uses to move past the premature focus trap and to find a topic that is of importance to the client. By focusing on the client's concerns, lifestyle changes and outcomes are positively affected. Now, let's go back in time to make these changes to see the different outcomes.
So, good morning. My name is Jania. I'll be your nutritional therapist today. So, the doctor had told you recently that you have prediabetes, and I wanted to get your reaction to this news just so that I can better help you.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really expecting any of this at all. I mean, it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm still kind of in shock. I mean, I know what I eat isn't really the healthiest, um, but I mean, my life is pretty hectic, so I mean, I guess I haven't really been taking care of myself. I just didn't think it was that bad, like I didn't think I had prediabetes or anything. So.
So you were pretty shocked with this news, and I'm sensing you might be quite scared too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it worries me quite a bit. My career is really important to me, and I really don't want diabetes to slow me down. Of course, nobody wants to take medication, and I am deathly afraid of needles. So, I mean, I don't want to be pricking myself all day. And I'm an ESL teacher, and basically, I teach English to foreign students and adults. And so I work at a community center close by, but I also travel quite a bit, which, I mean, I eat out often just because of that, and I don't really get to exercise much because, I mean, I'm always on the go, and some of these hotels don't really have any gyms or anything, and the areas aren't really places where you want to go and run, and so, I mean, following a healthy diet would be pretty hard. And I mean, I guess I could maybe work out at some of those gyms, but after a long day, honestly, all you really want to do is just veg out, and not really have to go to the gym and, sweat and everything. I don't know.
Yeah. So you feel like travel adversely affects your health, but you recognize the importance of exercise and diet.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's good for you, but I absolutely hate exercising. I mean, I think it's so boring, and I don't know, it's not comfortable, and I don't like making the time for it, when my life is so busy. It's just the last thing on my list. So.
But your lack of exercise is a concern to you, it sounds like.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it does bother me. Like when I was younger, I was much thinner, and I'd exercise all the time, and I'd do all these sports and everything. So, I mean, it definitely does concern me a little bit, that I've gotten so far from that, So
you mentioned that you're bothered by the way that you look, and you also mentioned that your diet is less than healthful.
Yeah, like I said, I have to eat out often just because I travel a lot, and also I am always on the go, so I'd like drive in somewhere like Panera. I love Panera, and I usually get like breakfast or lunch there, sometimes both. I think one of my favorite things is the soup in the little bread bowl, and I end up usually eating a majority of the bread bowl, which I know is probably not the healthiest thing in the world, and of course they give you those other options like the apples and the salad, but I mean, I like to stick with stuff that I like, and I don't know if I really like any of that, and I mean, I also don't eat too many sweets, I mean, so I think I'm okay, sometimes I eat fine, but when I travel, I do like to try all the local restaurants and everything, and sometimes that is a bakery or two. My absolute favorite thing in the world is the peanut butter and jelly donut. I mean, if you haven't tried them, I'll bring one in for you to try because they're absolute heaven. And my Dr. Pepper, honestly can't live without my Dr. Pepper.
Right.
It's what keeps me going. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned there are healthier options available in restaurants that you go.
Yeah.
And you said you don't eat sweets often, but you also mentioned your Dr. Pepper, and I can't help but recognize this huge big gulp that's on our desk.
Yeah, I mean, soda is what keeps me going throughout the day. I mean, obviously the caffeine and then the little bit of sugar kick that it gives me really helps me get through those really long days, and I mean, I've been drinking these things since I was a teenager, so I mean, just second nature. It's just a habit,
So soda is that energy boost to help you through the day.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I just stopped by the gas station on my way to work. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just the stop I make in the morning. It's just habit. And also, when like I stop and get gas, I maybe might get another one. So I mean, yeah, it's just part of my life. So.
Okay, so we could go in a number of directions here, and I wonder which makes the most sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned exercise, possibly getting some healthier options when you go out, and you also mentioned your soda consumption.
Mm-hmm.
You may also have other things that we haven't mentioned today that you would like to discuss further. So which would you like to discuss?
I mean, I guess I should really cut down on soda. I mean, I know it has a lot of sugar in it, and maybe that'll help with the prediabetes a little bit. I just get so tired throughout the day, and like the caffeine, obviously, and the little bit of sugar kick really helps me keep going throughout the day,
So it sounds like your soda intake is something that is out of control, and you must not feel that energized if you have to keep drinking it throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, I do normally feel really sluggish and fatigued all day long, so it could be part of it.
So your soda consumption's a habit you'd like to break.
Yeah, I mean, really, in lieu of this shocking news, it might be time for me to change, even if I don't want to, so.
Okay. So would you like to hear some ways that my other patients kind of get an energy boost that are not soda?
Yeah, honestly, I would love any suggestions. I mean, my tolerance for caffeine has just increased so much that, like, some days I'll be drinking 2-3 of these, and I know that's not really recommended. So, yeah, I would like to hear some alternatives.
Yeah. So my other diabetic patients that like caffeine and a little sweet, they will either have 1 cup of coffee in the morning or they'll drink unsweetened tea. And if you like something sweet, we don't really condone artificial sweeteners, but you could add a packet of stevia or Splenda to your tea. That's not a problem. So how does that sound?
I think that sounds okay. I do like sweet tea, sometimes unsweet tea, so I think I would be okay with making that switch to like an unsweetened tea with maybe stevia or something. Yeah. So I could definitely make some switches,
So you sound ready to make a change. You sound ready to go. Do you perceive any obstacles or challenges that you might foresee with changing your soda intake?
I definitely think I will crave the sugar. I'm really afraid I won't make it throughout the day without caffeine, So, those are definitely things that I see, I don't know, as barriers, to me making these changes,
So that's definitely a legitimate worry. I think the smart thing to do is to gradually wean you off the soda. I think you might be feeling a little lethargic and fatigued just because you're dehydrated. So maybe swapping out some of the soda for water or tea some days will definitely help you out.
It definitely sounds fine. I think I can definitely swap out some of the soda with tea or coffee. That'll help me with the caffeine withdrawal, and maybe I could even increase my water intake. I know that'll help with the dehydration, and I heard it also helps with fatigue, So, it's definitely doable. I definitely think it's something I could do.
Great. And next time we can even talk about your diet, because I know fruit and vegetable intake can also give you a natural energy boost. So,
yeah.
Okay. So those ideas sound really great. And our session's coming to a close. I just wanted to thank you for being so open today. And next time you come in, we can talk about your diet, on your soda consumption. If you ever have any questions, we're right here. Just give us a call. And but again, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, okay. Sure, I'll see you next time. And I might just leave this here.
In the second scenario, the client and the counselor worked together to determine where the focus of the session was going to go, and the counselor allowed the client to guide the session. You may have noticed that in this scenario, the client was more engaged and became ready to decrease her soda consumption in order to improve her health. The counselor in this scenario allowed the client to voice her concerns and life situation to build rapport and create a proper collaboration before the counselor and client began to negotiate a behavior change goal. In this scenario, the counselor was able to use different motivational interviewing techniques like reflective listening to gently guide the client while keeping the client engaged and in control of the situation. By listening to the client and their life situation, the counselor is able to avoid the premature focus trap as well as other traps that cause disengagement. If comparing the two sessions, the viewer can see the difference in client engagement, resistance, hesitation, and ambivalence. By using the proper motivational interviewing techniques, that includes avoiding the premature focus trap, the counselor-client relationship will develop and help the client resolve the ambivalence and move towards behavior change through internal motivation.